In today's video, I would like to show you how to set the WordPress featured image size. Now in WordPress, you can set an image that appears at the top of a post or in an archive, and usually these will be different sizes. So you've got a smaller size for the archive and a larger size for the actual post itself. To change the featured image size, click on Edit Post, and then on the right hand side click on Featured Image, and you can drag a new image into that box, or click on it and pick one from the media center. Now, a question I get asked quite a lot is, how do you tell what size the image is and how do you change it? So in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now here's a trick that I use so that I can tell exactly what image size is in use by any theme, and it works with any theme, using the Chrome Inspector tool. Now if you right click while you're using the Chrome browser, you can then open the Developer Inspect tools. So if you right click on the image, you will see the actual HTML of the image. So I can see that it's using a width of 700 and a height of 469. I can also see in this little box here, I'll just bring it up again, that we've got 645 by 432 pixels showing there, but the actual dimensions of the image itself are 700 by 469. So it's showing at 645 wide, when the image itself is actually 700, so it's actually squashing it slightly to get it into the post. You can also use the class name, because very often you'll find that it will say something like an attachment large, attachment medium, or it might have another name that the developer has used for to create special image sizes for a post. Or it might say attachment dash and the actual image dimensions there. So this is quite useful to us here, because we've got attachment large, which tells us that the WordPress large image size is being used in this case. So armed with this information, we can then go into the WordPress dashboard and have a look at the image sizes in use and make some changes as well if we need to do that. So I'm now in the dashboard of my website. If I go to Settings and Media, I can see the image sizes, or the standard image sizes, that have been set by WordPress and that I've set myself. So we've got the thumbnail size, which is 150 by 150, medium 300 by 300, and large size 1024 by 1024. So these are all squares. In my case, we saw that in Inspector that it wasn't actually showing a square, and that is because I uploaded a rectangle, and WordPress then did its best to crop the image to make it these dimensions. So what I could do is to put in some precise measurements here for the size that I want for large images. But there is one other thing to bear in mind. These image sizes are going to be used for any images that you embed into a WordPress post, as well as the image size that you use for your featured image. Now, unfortunately, WordPress does not list out all the various image sizes that are in use by your theme. Your theme may well have added some extra custom image sizes to WordPress, and they won't be displayed here, unfortunately, but there is another way of showing that information. Now, there is a very useful plugin that I tend to install on all my blogs, and it's called the Regenerate Thumbnails plugin. I'll put a link to this plugin at the bottom of the video. It's a free plugin, and it allows you to resize images after you've made a change to them. So you could change the featured image size to be a different dimension, and this plugin will allow you to resize the images so that they appear in the right dimensions in your post. Now, if we pop across to the media library, and then I'm going to click on an image and just scroll down to the bottom, and we've got a new button here called Regenerate Thumbnails. Now, when I click on that, I can see all the images that are in use in my WordPress installation. So for this image, we've got a thumbnail generated, a medium large, a large, and various other dimensions here. We've also got a blog and single, which I think has been created by my theme. Also, I've got a plugin called Mediavine Create, which I use for recipes, and that also has some custom image sizes which haven't been created in this case. If I want to create those images, I could click on this big blue button here, and it would go through the whole lot and create these images. Now, what if I wanted to use a new image size for my WordPress blog posts? Now, the method you use here to do that is going to be different depending on which theme you're using in WordPress. Now, I'm using GeneratePress. Unfortunately, GeneratePress does have the ability to change which image type is going to be used for archives and for posts. So if I go into customize and then click on layout and blog, if I scroll down, there's a section called features images, and for archive I've chosen to show the medium image, but I could change that to any of the images that are in use in WordPress. So it also shows me all the image types that have been created by plugins that I've got as well. Now, I created a new image size called blog, and also a single one which had a particular dimension, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. So I'm going to change it in this case to my blog size. Now, this is for the archive, because I notice I've got the archive panel selected there. I can also select one for posts. So at the moment I've got large, so I'm going to change that to single. So let's have a look and see what that looks like. So if I click on a post there, I can see it in its full glory, and what you will notice is that nothing's really changed. It's still showing pretty much the same image size. Now, that's because it's showing the image within the space that has been allowed by the post. But say I wanted the image to take up the whole width of this post, I can also make some changes in GeneratePress to do that, and that would include removing the sidebar. So let me just show you quickly how I would do that. Now first what I would want to do is to go back, and then so I'm back into the layout section of the customizer. I can click on sidebars, and then I can change the arrangement for blog posts. So here we've got single post sidebar layout, and I've got it set to content sidebar. Now if I change that to content no sidebars, then I've got a full width post there. So the next thing to do would be to go back and then choose blog, and then just change how the featured image is displayed. As you can see, the alignment is left, so I could change it to center, and then it will be centered across the middle of the post. Now what I could also do is set the image to be 100% of the page size. Now I happen to know that I've got a size of 1100 pixels, so if I enter that there, then this image will then appear across the whole width of the blog post. Now if I wasn't happy about this image, maybe it's slightly blurred because it's been stretched, then I could just change which size is displayed there. I could go for large instead, and it might well be that it's less blurry because it's a bigger image in size. But you should be careful not to pick an image size that is too big. I mean, I could go for the full size image there, which might be, say, 2000 pixels wide. In fact, that's probably what it is there, 2000. And that would be too big really. It would end up with an image that is too big in physical disk space size, and that would cause the blog post to load much more slowly than it would if we put a smaller image there. So that's something to be careful of. Regarding the page width, that is something that you can set within GeneratePress. So if I just pop up to the top there and go back and then click on container, you can see that I've set a width there of 1100 pixels wide. So I knew then that to set the image width to be that size when it's displayed. Okay, so now I've made my changes, I'm going to hit publish to save them, and then exit out of this. So when I click on that post now, I can see that it's a much bigger image and the whole post is taking up the full width with no sidebar. Now the next thing I want to show you quickly is how to create your own custom image sizes. You saw when we looked at the customizer, I had two extra image sizes called blog and single. Now I've got a plugin installed called Code Snippets, and I'll put a link to that plugin at the bottom of the post. And this is a really useful plugin just for adding bits of code to your theme without having to have a child theme. Now as you can see, I've got a little code snippet here called add blog image sizes. If I just go in and edit that, you can see that I've added some code here. I've called it blog, and I've put in the dimensions, the width and the height of the image, and I've set the last parameter to true, which means that WordPress is going to crop any images that it finds. So I'll end up with an image that is exactly those dimensions, but it may well, if I put in a square for example, it may well chop off the top and bottom so that we end up with these exact dimensions. So that's how you create new image sizes for your blog. I'll also put that little bit of code at the bottom of this video so you can just copy and paste and make changes as per your requirements. So that's how you set the WordPress featured image size for your blog. I hope that was useful. If you have any questions, please do ask in the comments below. Of course, when I did this demonstration, I did have to pick a theme to do it on, and for this one I chose GeneratePress because it's the theme that I use for all my websites. I fully appreciate that you might not have that theme installed, but I hope I've demonstrated how customizable it is. So if you are thinking of retheming your blog anytime, I thoroughly recommend GeneratePress as a choice for your next theme.